Hi everybody, it's Tanya again from the Quilters Market. We are here doing our virtual mystery quilt number 2. This is a lap size quilt that is 42 by 54 inches. Clue number 1, you will need 3 fabric choices. You'll need 1 dark, 1 medium, and 1 light. We are offering 3 kits. Kit number 1 are these 3 colors. This would be your dark, this would be your medium, this would be your light. Kit number 2, this is your dark, this is your medium, this is your light. And finally, kit number 3, this is your dark, this is your medium, and this is your light. For the dark, you're going to need 1.5 yards. For the medium, you're going to need 1 yard. And for your light fabric, you're going to need 1 1/4 yard. Let's get ready for clue number 2, the cutting instructions. Before we start with clue number 2, we got to grab 2 things. We need to grab our rotary cutter with a fresh blade, because cutting's coming next, and our favorite ruler. Let's get started. Clue number 2. We're going to start by cutting our dark fabric. We're going to cut 1 strip at 4.5 inches by the width of the fabric, and we're going to subcut that into 6 squares. We're then going to cut 5 strips that are 3.5 inches, and we're going to save that for the border. We're then going to cut 3 strips at 2.5 inches, and we're going to leave the strip whole. We're then going to cut 2 strips at 2.5 inches, and we're going to cut those into 24 squares. So you'll have 24 2.5 by 2.5 squares. We're then going to cut 5 strips at 2 inches, and we're going to leave those whole. Now for cutting our medium fabric. We're going to start by cutting 3 strips that are 3 7/8 by the width of fabric. We are then going to cut 24 squares from that, and then we're going to subcut the squares on the diagonal to yield 48 triangles. If you prefer to work with oversized half square triangles and that method, instead of cutting the strip 3 7/8, you're going to cut the strip 4 inches so that your triangles will be slightly oversized. You will have to size them down when they are in the block. Then we're going to cut 3 strips that are 2.5 inches, and we're going to leave those strips alone. We're then going to cut 2 strips at 2.5 inches, and we are going to subcut that into 24 squares. Then we're going to move to our light fabric. We are going to start by cutting 3 strips that are 4.5 inches, and we are going to cut those into 24 4.5 inch squares. We're then going to cut 3 strips at 3 7/8. We're going to cut those into 24 squares and cut on the diagonal to yield 48 triangles. Again, if you like using the oversized half square triangle method, you will cut those strips instead of 3 7/8 at 4 inches. Then we're going to cut 5 strips at 2 inches, and we're going to leave those strips whole. That's it for your cutting instructions. We look forward to seeing you again for clue number 3. Make sure you click on the link to print your own printable copy of the cutting instructions.